Good morning, class. Today, we're going to explore an interesting idiom that you might have come across before. It's called get out of hand. Can anyone guess what this idiom might mean?
Does it mean losing control of something?
Excellent guess, Anna. That's exactly right. When we say that a situation or an event gets out of hand, it means that it becomes uncontrollable or chaotic. Let's break it down a bit more.
So, does it always refer to a negative situation?
Not necessarily, Kevin. While it's commonly used to describe negative situations, it can also refer to situations that become unexpectedly intense or overwhelming, even if they're not necessarily bad. It's all about the sense of losing control.
Can you give us an example to help us understand it better?
Absolutely. Imagine you're organizing a surprise birthday party for your friend. You invite a few close friends, plan some fun activities, and have a general idea of how the party should go. However, things start to get out of hand when more and more people show up uninvited, and the party becomes overcrowded and chaotic. In this case, the party has gotten out of hand.
I see. So, it's like when something goes beyond what was expected or intended?
Exactly, Anna. It's when a situation surpasses the anticipated or acceptable limits, whether in terms of control, organization, or behavior. It's important to note that getting out of hand implies a loss of control, not just a slight deviation from the initial plan.
Can you give us another example, please?
Of course. Let's say you're playing a game of soccer with your friends. At first, everyone is having a good time and following the rules. But then, some players start to get overly aggressive, ignoring the rules, and getting into fights. The game has now gotten out of hand because it has become chaotic and no longer resembles a friendly match.
I think I understand now. Are there any synonyms for this idiom?
Great question, Justin. Yes, there are a few similar expressions you can use to convey a similar meaning, such as spiraling out of control or going haywire. These expressions all convey the idea of a situation becoming unmanageable or disorderly. Now, let's see some real-life conversation examples.
Hey, have you noticed how messy our living room has become lately?
Yeah, it's really gotten out of hand. I don't know how it got this messy so quickly.
I think we need to set aside some time this weekend to clean it up and organize everything.
That's a good idea. Otherwise, it's only going to get worse, and we won't be able to find anything.
Definitely. We don't want things to get out of hand to the point where we can't even relax in our own home.
Agreed. Let's make a cleaning schedule and tackle it together. That way, we can prevent it from getting out of hand in the future too.
Sounds like a plan. We'll get it back in order before it gets any worse.
In this conversation, the idiom get out of hand is used to describe the messy state of the living room. The speakers acknowledge the current situation and discuss the need to address it before it worsens. They plan to take action to prevent it from happening again.
Hey, did you hear about Sarah's house party last night? It was insane.
Really? What happened?
Well, at first, everything was going smoothly. People were having a good time, chatting and dancing. But then, things started to get out of hand.
How so?
Some uninvited guests showed up, and they brought along alcohol. They started drinking excessively and causing a lot of noise. It became chaotic, and Sarah couldn't handle the situation anymore.
That sounds like a nightmare. What did she do?
She had to call the police to get the situation under control. They arrived and helped disperse the unruly guests. It was quite a mess.
Poor Sarah. I hope her house didn't get damaged.
Fortunately, there wasn't any major damage, but it was definitely a wake-up call for her. She won't be throwing parties like that again.
I can understand why. It's important to set boundaries and make sure things don't get out of hand.
In this conversation, the idiom get out of hand is used to describe a situation at a house party where things became chaotic and uncontrollable.
Hey, have you seen the preparations for the office party tomorrow?
Yeah, it's starting to get out of hand. The decorations are excessive, and there are way too many food options.
I know what you mean. It seems like everyone's trying to outdo each other. It's supposed to be a simple gathering, not a grand event.
Absolutely. We need to bring things back to reality. Otherwise, the budget will go through the roof, and it will be difficult to manage everything.
I agree. Let's talk to the organizing committee and suggest scaling down some of the arrangements. We should focus on creating a relaxed and enjoyable atmosphere rather than going overboard.
That's a good idea. We don't want things to get out of hand and overshadow the real purpose of the party, which is to appreciate our colleagues and have a good time together.
Definitely. I'll talk to them tomorrow morning and share our concerns. Hopefully, we can find a middle ground and make the event memorable without it becoming an extravagant affair.
Great! Thank you for taking the initiative. I'm sure others will appreciate your perspective as well.
In this conversation, the idiom get out of hand is used to describe the excessive and uncontrolled nature of the preparations for the office party. They discuss the need to address the situation and ensure that the event remains within reasonable limits. Alright, class, now that we've discussed the meaning of the idiom get out of hand, I want you to try and create your own sentences using this idiom. Use your imagination and think of different scenarios where things could get out of hand. Feel free to share your sentences with the class afterward.